Chapter 76. Worldwide. Jake worked himself past the edge of exhaustion, trying to understand what was happening. What he found were fragments, partial alerts, clipped statements, half denials so vague they could have meant anything or nothing at all. The more he pushed, the less coherent the picture became. Eventually, his concentration failed him completely. He cried without quite realizing it, slumped sideways on the living room couch, and fell asleep as if he had been pulled under. Stephanie and Emily slept too, their interest dulled by the lack of answers. They had even teased him earlier for losing focus on their recruitment efforts, but Jake couldn't let this go. Something had happened, and he could feel it. Even asleep, his mind worked. His dreams were crowded with journalists, government officials, and conspiracy theorists clawing at scraps of information. Vultures circling a carcass sealed beneath layers of steel. Every voice wanted clarity. None of them had it. The dream widened, spreading until it felt like he was going to glimpse everyone on Earth at once. Millions of minds straining in the same direction. Then the motion slowed. Jake found himself on a ship. It reminded him of one of those shows his family used to watch. Captains, aliens, starfields, but this felt heavier, more real, less story, more machine. Some of the people looked human, others absolutely did not. They moved with purpose. Animals, insects, machines, things that were almost human but wrong in subtle ways. They conducted experiments, took measurements, reviewed data, spoke in clipped exchanges that sounded practiced and efficient. This wasn't exploration, this was administration. The bridge held a dozen figures working with intense focus. Ryland? A woman's voice said. She stood abruptly from one of the tables, holographic imagery hovering above it, and stared directly at Jake. Her voice drew attention. Several others glanced toward him and then back to their work, clearly seeing nothing at all. Only she was looking at him. You shouldn't be able to use sight here, she said, her expression shifting from curiosity to concern. Jake tried to pull away, tried to look somewhere else. He couldn't. He didn't feel trapped exactly, more called, as if this was exactly where he was supposed to be. The woman's hair was braided, neatly back, dark patterns stitched into the shoulders of her loose uniform. She looked about a decade older than him, composed, sharp. The crease of her brow somehow made her even more striking. Are we under investigation? She continued, or review? Behind her, the bridge moved faster now. Voices sharpened, displays flickered. Shaper resonance detected, ma'am, someone reported from another console. Her eyes narrowed. You will submit a full report explaining why you're wasting time spying on my bridge, she said coldly. Recall immediately. Report to the Linamos 5, Solvenrian. Darkness swallowed everything. Jake woke. The living room faintly lit by the early morning sun. His heart raced. The dream felt wrong. He rubbed his eyes and went to the kitchen. Drank some orange juice straight from the jug, trying to shake the feeling. Nothing. Then he froze. The refrigerator door hung open as his focus snapped onto a stranger in a fluorescent lit room, studying photographs spread across a desk. Jake recognized two of the faces immediately. They had been on the ship in his dream. His breath caught. He set the juice back carefully and leaned into the image. The photograph sharpened, the room clarified. This wasn't imagination. It wasn't a dream. Just to be certain, he pinched his forearm and shut the fridge, focusing on the way each action felt, each sensation. They, like his sight, were very real. He returned to the couch. Stephanie and Emily were still asleep in separate rooms. He pushed them from his thoughts and followed the thread. In an instant, he was back on the bridge. The woman and the man from the photographs were speaking quietly at a workstation. Jake wanted to listen, but hesitated. She had seen him once. She might see him again. He still wasn't certain if the dream had been real or if it was just something that he had imagined. So he pulled back. He accelerated outward, faster than thought, until the ship became a shape, and then a structure. It wasn't a ship at all. It was an industrial complex suspended impossibly in the sky. And Jake knew exactly where it was. He followed invisible lines like a mapping app no one had taught him how to use. A road, a town, name surfaced effortlessly. He reached for his phone and then stopped. Instead, he grabbed the tablet from the coffee table. The interface fought him. He searched for a map, tried to download one, and hit a password prompt. Swearing under his breath, He marched into Emily's room and shook her awake. "Emily," he said urgently, "I need you to look up a city." "Can't this wait?" she groaned, batting his hands away. "No, it can't wait." She sighed and reluctantly sat up, grabbing her phone from the nightstand. Jake paced, his attention split, half anchored miles away from the complex, careful to stay distant enough not to be noticed. "Okay," Emily said groggily. "What am I looking for?" "New Pine Creek," Jake said. She typed, scrolled. It was a tiny town. It's a tiny town on the California-Oregon border, Jake. "I think there are aliens there," Jake said. Emily blinked at him. "Are you okay?" "Yes," he said too quickly. "Very okay. I can see them." She rubbed her face. You need to get some sleep." "I slept," Jake said, almost vibrating. "There are aliens on Earth, Emily.